first, stories in here more power, and of course, Club World Cup, and also so we Ousmane Dembele. But I would love to start from Babia, from Pont Casanisi, me body tell. Jeremy from Pont, I can't see so say or a winner. What can't see so say or a winner. Now our reference is say Waji Bundesliga ni be El Babio free bano. Why say? He's also trying to tell us say. He has the mentality of bit media fitting into a dressing room like Liverpool dressing room now. Because in the modern day football, we'll be talking about a champion dressing room full of champions. Of course, you cannot forget about Liverpool a dressing room. They've been dominating. I'm going to Pep Guardiola at their force or England power club Ayibina and it's close to about to us. So Jeremy from Paul in the midst of this squad, Enche Biamoji Piono. It only strengthens Liverpool squad now and Ancelotti. He's a Dutch guy. The coach is a Dutch guy. He has other quality players almost free assassination. So a backroom how about Bessia Kain. Right now, Dumuni recently aboard the Liverpool. Cody Gakpo also from Dutch soil. And also don't forget some captain Virgil van Dijk. Also another player who free Horma. So from Paul. Virtually, he's come to a soil a very fruitful Diamantapa. The style of play, the profile, and all that. He's a very offensive-minded player. Yeah, pass the ball now, and so Odumrike Kwenimobi. That notwithstanding, a bad defense as well. In my opinion, or defending even better. Send not Trent, but sometimes can you say na because over started season, no defense or from because say Liverpool to be you're part of the attack. No more need for defensive roles. So from Paul joining Liverpool squad already, Champions League PSG and Liverpool can sign and or the two so Okoji Piano. From Paul is at the right place at the right time. And I feel so we grow more and a slot. Mami move quickly. Ousmane Dembele beba be PSG squad no based on the story we are no pay say omo hwe ni muso beba omo nyoma just come no ever say ba be shim fast but ono amu no e pese oba na oba be and no but one story related the person make kan ho asem no e bakola person wokono na Luis Enrique e kasa omanenko. Yeah, sometimes when a coach signs for a club they are not bonting for you now, say, oh, the Jumano you failed in some tactics, technique, getting the players in shape physically, and all that psychological working, and it goes way beyond that. The American can your coach, but so person Freddie Pano coach, friend another title like a manager. Yeah, he does a lot of stuff way beyond the field. Players in a contractual issues or a matter the coach, So Bakola beste. What it entails is a player the person Nanije. Nanije is so be a board. That is it. Now PSG for no so no Adebako Hydrogen say the duel in a typical 4-3-3 where the final third no comprise of only 3 players. Desire Due had an explicit former Wontumi and Benchini Sinche. Varselia came with a big bang. From Naples or a champion or by and ye wingers I can see about productive, not productive in the sense of chances creation, but productive in the definition of goal scoring output. Varselia would become set pieces of ball and tactically every team that sits in the blocks. We have Varselia and the profile. And I'm going to do Ousmane Dembele. I mean, one of the leaders of the side. I can't. So I'm going to very difficult. And the Mabakola so be line up with the area. But you're not Emrizal, I'm not player. First, na Usman Munya ma any adeno.
Yeah, no, say a talk of town. Because one also by no 17, and son of Cuprano, Warenza Emri.
One who have football here. But call and desire do a form Nintino. Obia Mo Zare Emri DBM Crank Campiajon. But he's also in the midst. So Luis Enrique has to take over. Ebi administratively, I want to be promised to play in a minute. Oh yeah, the kakra can wait or contract be mium you be project one French national team number but minutes in a day and you coach and he has to convince the player say oh stay let me trust so who say coach yes Jumanwa it's for a long-term purposes and kwaji Champions League we waji league one aka ho so waji trouble kra wa ma Jumana dey ayɛ den the next coach but he's still thinking about how to dominate not a few but Europe And that you need a squad depth. And and how many players on the market currently? Anyway, say the profile of Bacola. I respect Luis Enrique for this. And no one here Juma Pep Guardiola how many more you do as a manager no. He has to convince players to stay. But the Drew Bra Okoswa, Okasa won't obwa. But we'll be able to our promise also. Won't. And this is where we talk of balls as a manager. So coming on the Bacola engineer, I love Enrique for this job. And say Bacola stay, Dizadwe stay, Emiriza stay, plus Usmani ne Varselia noa. Me for the Senate me more be a dion. Yow.
Our sample say or san share attack na mokena. Or say pe attack asan naba.
Waka.
Oh yeah.
And it's a Ramos Beko.
Yeah. Or you'll be on me because say column 1 kodada. So Ramos Gonzalo Ramos on Sobeko.
Luis Enrique behajune pa. Away from that, Pachuca ne Madrid game the console. Na game no mami hu niema bebre because I had already watched Madrid a first game no boy and all that Alonso training ya o yin edidi actually. But ya game ne console no Madrid mu no me ye very honest Madrid defense no mo here changes. Changes in say Obo Asencio na about the Heisena a dangerous. Based on Pachuca game na me share am dey kan you. So Obo Asencio now the Dean Heisen a dangerous. On the sheet of it, overshare people so like I say, oh, so we are aggressive, where your ball playing into enough balance. I see. And see aggression and smooth and mouth balance man in man in ye. Oh, near Canasa. And all the Frank Garcia or Carreras at the Trent Babesoswa. And my defense is more weaker. Frank Garcia, what does he offer? I mean, how do you break his profile down? At the end of Frank Garcia did buy Madrid penalty. Who ball Madrid near or New Trafford unim Frank Garcia.
Okay.
That's when he is on the ball. Bonnie Cran no who Frank Garcia say or pass it or to me dribble in tight spaces as a winger come left back. He does all that with a plumb. You see, but how about without the ball? What does he bring on the table? Now Trent is also a. Inti Kobasa sa nkrofo free mu a na eya akwa me say nkrofo bia exposed to central defenders no mo yem kra counter attack bia no my exposed after red card no then I said say Madrid me Tchouameni call here machino me who so they've had Pepe, they've had Varane, they've had Ramos. Look at these profiles. And this profiles in the Madrid be dominant, you know. Look, Ronaldo, Benzema, Vinicius, Modric, more defense and so. But a throw for now, Juma.
True.
It's in no Juma and rock Tiboko. Yeah, I don't see more question with mouth, even in Ra, the ancient, you know. I'm saying, me and Pessi Busase. Yakasa best goalkeeper. A different from the goalkeeper currently in form one.
Oh, say form do bet me any form, but class the permanent. Form bet me a temporary. Say Courtois the won't mean can say be or form because he's been their best safest pair of hands for all these years. Courtois better Madrid for post. Not just anyone Ajunkwa.
Yo,
10 saves in a single game.
Michel Courtois Panam say, so because he's the best goalkeeper because a German Champions League for a year, you know. Also Courtois Arsenal for, but Italy guy Donnarumma you can't leave him out. But Juma Courtois point blank saves. So Madrid say Rodrygo will be very much important in the midst of the Real Madrid defensive structure. No? So when you're Rodrygo, he brings experience, he brings aggression, he brings mental control. What is that sometimes pressure but team biswa who will be able to calm down. Our field and also your coach, you know. Calm down. Now Dean Heisen catch Asencio say calm down. And Asencio no catch Dean Heisen say calm down. Inexperienced young guys up and coming. Situation be about to be there for. But Rodrygo has seen it all.
Yes.
What is Abra for no? I can say he has seen it all.
Yeah,
in Kugo, in Kunim performance, results. Rodrygo is very important.
Personal trials, tribulations
of the field, racism, individually the atono. He's built in that regard. So be leading Ukraine do Mako. Yeah. So yeah, Michelle Madrid different. And the most dangerous thing Madrid who protects them? Who protects the back line? Tchouameni. More hapa. In terms of that job, more hapa. I'm not going to take you through history.
So still Madrid they here 6.
Yeah. Tchouameni, I didn't know you're comfortable playing central defense. I say Obo 6, you know. Why has Ancelotti questioned how Obo is 6, you know, a lot of him? Because Alonso a formation, you know, a 4-1-2-3, and a 4-3-3, a 4-1-2-3. One no your specialty job. It be a Busquets, Diano, it be a Casemiro, Diano. The one stays and works for the effectiveness of the two ahead of him. Two in the one say Madrid midfield no comprise of 2 of the best 8 in the game currently. Game here you do football come Madrid line up on the boy, you know. 8 for me, you be a boy in a gym, no. They are part of the best 8 in the game currently. Now when the gym Emma almost 8 brilliance and a daddy. Tchouameni, yo, the guy is light in terms of definition of a DM, or very light. Now 2 for Valverde ni Jude there. If Comunio beat to say Casemiro prime ne Gino Machia, imagine where Madrid will be. I mean, Jude as 8, Valverde as 8. They bring goals. They love to stay on the ball, especially because when you James Bond from home easily, sir.
Yes.
But they all protect you, woman. Only confidence I did year, you man. Tchouameni your light, I'm telling you. Madrid bet me I keep on near the court until the season end. The counter-attacking situations at Madrid from Pachuca. No, I asked myself, say, you were ultra high-powered attacks for anyway Europe say Madrid pew on pew. Either so be shebi ofie or be shebi Europe. Because ultra high-powered attacker, PSG ka hon, Liverpool ka hon, Bayern and Barcelona. Look at this attack here, Maka catch we against Madrid defense we.
On consider to say, ebi omunya red card no early in the game.
Me komo ya me di nyina me more record di. Me say after record in the buy, you know, okay, they got exposed more. I mean, come on, a full lineup, no, 11 players no come on me di.
Okay.
Etina me body high sindi, you know. And until me bo Asencio di. Asencio on your record.
Yes.
But I'm kind say omo me nu ho asem na me kan. I mean, yaw. Kan kra me nu bom a light. It is like Kubasi and then Arohu.
No leadership.
Bia in adwuma. We will see how you're very good. We will see how you're very good. But be in control of your uncle. Be a ben adwuma. If I know do a game no akra be control we. And game no do baby a. Ya na obi abu for field na so. But when you senior player bi ma no abu for ni bu mfu bi. And be a Nico de na de buy no. No de Kame Kubasi no more. So Madrid will need Rodrygo. They will need the guy back fit and ready. No about balance one of them, Asencio or Dinheisen. Not all corner 1 year or 2. Omujana kwanya na we na babishim. Pepe. And no be na Ramos Pepe and a Varane bae and a babeshe ho. Sana community. The final third in the day means some me holding on kakra. Because Gonzalo Ada Gula, no. Yeah, I saw them. They were okay for me. But we are talking about Real Madrid. Standardization and performance and some of the status account. Gonzalo, I mean, yaw. It's any one ka adwuma kakra ese Madrid eye wo ho no pa. My next topic no ye ba bia me pese me hwe Arsenal. Okay, say Arsenal for EP. I'll be back with Barcelona and test again issues no. So me tell the test we na me kwa quicker. Hansi Flick ko adwuma bono po because of test again issues in nti. Hansi Flick ko adwuma. Now, I'm a share release clause of 25 million euros. E dey akofa one gas adnaba. This guy no be map has a big problem. Some problem ne kotoko anya bi ofia. Kotoko de Danlad di Felix Anai na sesa. Enya kotoko nko national teams no U15 Danlad, U16 Danlad, U17 Danlad, U18 Danlad. They were projecting the guy to be the future of Kotoko goalkeeping department, you know. Felix Anai ye na dwene so okra kwa na Balora bai. You can't bench Balora. Na Danlad is way. But Danlad you say, oh, Abel radio me senior man. Onchi kakra me bam. And Abel Robert Chi, yeah, one situations he was the best, and yeah, one of the best. 1-on-1, on for one inside home. So Abel radio the so and then the distribution. There's a Danlad Jitum. No savage. Now Abel Rakoy no, Danlad senior man will do her and a Frederick Asari buy. Also another national team goalkeeper from Accra Lions, on the captain of her. So now aside be the same thing. The lad in Timinya number 1 no. At some point, doctor said, "Oh, mami rotation kra na me Wontumi. Check akra na so check akra." And that doctor anya sa na me twantro. Goalkeeping department na te say the bench ya form. 3 months no akotu so asa dey asha ase fofrom. 3 months no asa akotu no asa dey akoshe baby. Yaw, 3 months no asa akotu no dey ashe baby. How is that going to grow?
And it's mbo.
Say the goalkeeping department. It chop and change in ho. Chop and change in this department. You have one. Now will be backing on no pushing no backing on no pushing or call ya no shame. But omo boswa a big problem. But could not bench no. But could not bench no or back course papa. The dangerous and say goalkeepers no third no soon na no money sir. Into money training boom. Now see me training the okadamu me control bench no. Akono ma pani adwene panam de be training panel. Until after rotation no Frederick Asare dan la the court we judge Frederick Asare so call a disruption. Obia nye the full control ponum. Ebia na aba to Barcelona no. Testegen Sika Oje. He's already spent 10 years at the club. 2014-15 or by and 25. Sabre na fena ko be chipa but injury na ba twene ko akiri ashek senior ba be hu sources. And ma kofa keeper for what is the next phase or next decision from Hansi Flick? Abayama na ho ato no. A big problem. Na oye ba ko se Arsenal for Rodrygo. Ayampa.
Oh yeah. Because say Rodrygo dey na say obi an hu say the situation be say because ball no so onya bi mo. Omo first game boy. But enra dey no wanya warm up. Ono so o ma na because say asan sorry gidi. That was pain.
Ne modern baba form.
Because I know a class coach no crowd sound the akwada for the pan samba.
No be say we proud. No be say
modern one aba form.
Now you be say me catch us Rodrygo modern baba form. Wow. Rodrygo na near boni de under Rodrygo. Into a person born pejani modern bonim. A person free also on canon monya no fast no uncle.
New, we mami.
Yo, so but other than Arsenal Rodrygo, me pese me tiase.
Obi penny player.
And I'm saying me pese me who the player biano it has to resonate. Me pese me who why or Rodrygo or right winger and also
left wing ho.
Asoro no Martinelli ho. Now we say adiano.
So Dahana Bukayo second so ha send one no.
But Adena Rodrygo on your constant starter for Madrid. Or join the club how many years in here?
See, I'm also the modern baba.
Let's see, I come and make a come a break every so actual. Mickey the recency by mu. My person drag a question. Has he ever been a key figure? No, key is very different from important moment.
Okay.
He has been an important player momentarily for Madrid. He has been important momentarily, but he hasn't been a key player for Madrid. Okay. Because of consistency. Every day, yes. Since 2022, since he started Champions League 2022, he had been the only player 98 minutes. Watch a goal, the Champions League during the knockout phases of that competition. Rodrygo. So meaning say, do the cutting edge, with me unity and watch this. The profile in the Boniface so to me bought up as a striker to me Bob in from. So okay, versatility there. But why hasn't he been a regular member of the Madrid squad? Some Vinicius by Yehuno. Who bet you bench Vinicius? But it is easier to move this guy out. Now, Arsenal you mistake, what check it at the other TV so check this. What started about for more? Rodrygo, what first?
Okay, so as I said there, Mike kinda let's say Opijai.
Yes.
Me fan send him current market value cro Pija cost Robanafi as a drop it. Whoa.
No, me remind the Arsenal for Simbi. Arsenal for Jesus by. I'm for Sterling by. Yo. When him say they will nipa dua esibre no sa na wadwene so esibre. True. Say they will nipa dua esibre no sa na wadwene so bre. These guys, Oma winning so mentally, Oma fatigued.
Said they're true city now.
I'm telling you. On to me, Jesus, on to me for BM, my ass and push it to me. Sterling, no to me fast and I'm pushing him. Varane, no to me for Manchester, and Koya for BM.
What Jimmy B.
Well, yeah, one hour you'll be Biname Babwa, Uber Jesse Minaso. Minia.
Aye, Meza.
Yes, fancy ma yen for. Now Rodrygo is torn between two things. Maybe Wontumi is a one. 101.3. Obeto also LEV in the shadows of Vinicius and Mbappe. And now Obeteki it upon himself to move to a different club and take on the responsibility of being the main man. For example, Arsenal Semia. He has always been living in the shadows of Vinicius Jr. and Mbappe at Real Madrid. Okay. Because maybe I can say the position pa obo pa and you know nyabo Real Madrid. Rodrygo positions him no type pa. Number 1, obo as a left winger. Number 2, obo as a number 10 playmaker. In this instance of Real Madrid under Carlo Ancelotti, the number 10 no, even before Jude Bellingham, na 4-3-3 flat. 4-3-3 flat in the way they be used as a right winger.
So no typical number 10.
No typical number 10. But with the introduction of Jude Bellingham, Real Madrid me caught with a 4-3-1-2. Me caught with a 4-2-1-3. 2 pivot, double pivot. I came for that Jude Bellingham, 3 attackers. And my Germany are quite difficult. The mouse say, adapt to whatever you want to do at Real Madrid. Me susu ye mu ne bibia mu a akoda we akoda ka on take the risk no na on jintum said ye na wo ka no na o movie on jintum even at Chelsea, not only Arsenal, even at Chelsea akoda we ebeli did the lines there at Chelsea as the left winger. At Arsenal Obelidi as the left winger.
Some Martinelli crowded the Biaoka.
At Manchester United, Akodawi ebitima bo as the left winger. May I strongly believe that we have not seen the real potential because Akodawi ball senior team now Sakrana Vinicius Ibebo. When you crowd by no na your rating was so crown pochen Vinicius Jr. About Real Madrid for near rating and true whenever he has his day not the favorite positioner. Let's check the games our ball from the left wing at Real Madrid.
So ne trademark back here free kick.
Na Madrid on go to wine.
Who go to wine akobo free kick no. Oba on no. Ana games our ball as a left winger ni nyina no mu se nyoma pie free ni muba, nyoma pie free ni muba. Hwe. Ebi na no na me sa so aduan asemi Newton. I said the Bebo Adagula Pie, the introduction of Coach Awaba from Xabi Alonso. She me can I hear this? Na me Adagula Biana. Na me Dragakra. Because Adagula is a talented chain, can I hear this? But can I hear this? Ninya more playing time with Juventus, no? She need development in 2 seasons. Never to 2. Adagula. Sometimes you need to move out of your comfort zone. Sana brabonite oti baby na trim yo de bebreba oba fom mimi hu ni se ne fom bo na oba no ase ofili se e Real Madrid team nim no oye de kra na one start kra na e wo games bi on ma he will come obenya biabo or get trophies. He's becoming too comfortable with the current situation of Real Madrid. He needs to move. Rodrygo needs to move kra. I'm even surprised Bayern Munich is not going in for Rodrygo. Because Rodrygo no Bayern Munich for here left winger. Bayern Munich here left winger. Din because you see Nico Williams no yeah ding. Akoda in the word I'm Barcelona. Rafael Leao. AC Milan aton Tijani Reinders. AC Milan aton Theo Hernandez. And they say AC Milan ton ko de nim sana e bo say no de Rafael Leao beje. And personally, I even believe that Rodrygo need more playing time. Kabana can discuss Rafael Leao a player ahead of Rodrygo. But this is where the situation has actually brought Akodano. And he needs to find a way to sort himself out. Because there are several clubs almost presenting Rodrygo these clubs they will accept. I think the clubs, maybe Omujina say no, Omunyi Didier say Akodano person free.
No, say the situation here say
Real Madrid so mpamo
say Okaso obekwa o magiska no.
But Real Madrid said baby Real Madrid there's mpamo
80 million.
What did they mention as the first on mpamo Real Madrid baby ojina say no on pamon. Because Real Madrid will always love to honor players or my ebiamomo. It's your own paper what you say frimuko derby. But Sakodana agent and then call for any attitude say derby say the baby a Bruno. I was here Konya Kope baby. I know there are clubs that will line up for Akodawe signature. I know clubs that will line up. No more be top player, we no more than Nico. Every players be born in the market in so now Rodrygo. What now our yabre. And me share other Gula situation no say now he can only be hopeful say this season. Obenya be brenabo. And I think under Xabi Alonso, you be who more from other Gula. And then when you roll now or boy now, it means he said that is how they are going to use him. Likely to be used in the middle of the park. I think say Adebako beti madanya miasine say after the club World Cup, a very likely say Jude Bellingham back any shoulder injury no. Cedric no. Onyako Cedric now that means obet almost be half of the season.
Bare 3 months.
Bare 3 months. Within that period, the international break home near that day, this is where Adagula could come into the discussion and start playing for Real Madrid. Teno born one or this year because I could not me can I this born or born Juventus. Number Adagula. Then I become so frustrated for Adagula. And what ten I say I could always say me see so cry me what taking national team be am kofa idea. Come in na so bodebia. And make it a little bit of Ebasana say who yen bi kakra say na Barcelona so ho. And I'm telling you for a fact say Kokobasa kabana akobo. Basa obebo Basa kobo de bia. Obe start here every single day. Ama ni ometimi akoyi e de amano. I think from that aspect